It's usually building relationships, which is super necessary for success because the entire ecosystem, in particular here in the Silicon Valley, is driven by relationships.
So that Silicon Valley is all about networking and looking for beneficial partnerships.
I guess one of my advice pieces is, instead of selling a solution, try and get feedback, product feedback, essentially, on an MVP, a minimal viable product you're working on, because then you automatically connect with the peers in your ecosystem through a co-working space or just through people that have been introduced to you.
That it has to be beneficial for both sides. And so sometimes it's like Germans are not aware of that.
I mean, in Germany, you tend to meet people, stay with them for a drink. In Silicon Valley, there's just 60 minutes meeting, right? And then you just go, you drink a coffee. So it's like the way how to meet people is so different. In Germany, we like to invite people in your office. The guys I met, they have had no office at all, right? You just met in these cafes in Palo Alto or wherever. So that was interesting. Then I was really fascinated about methods like lean startup. I think that's a very useful method also to practice failure.
I think the misconception is that it's easier than it looks like. And I think a lot of people fail and don't then get the pushback by failure. You iterate all the time. Like reinventing yourself and self-development is probably two terms which we hear all the time, but that really, really means a lot to me personally, because we all failed a couple of times, and hearing that no just means that, okay, I'll try from a different approach, a different day.
So raising a round is easier in Germany than it is in the US. The round size might be higher in the US, but the fundraising itself is, I would think it's 10 times harder, 100 times harder. It's so crowded. And without any really good introductions, you can't make it. You need to have people who cheer for you, or you have like a network, and which is already in place. But I think misconception is you go to Silicon Valley and you raise a round and you become a German venture capital company gives you $1 million. They make sure they get this $1 million back. So they get preferred shares and board seats and information letters. So they do everything to get this $1 million back. The mindset of an American VC is like, oh, wow, if I can invest $1 million, what can I do to get a warrant to invest 10 million more? Mm-hmm. So they scale to, they want a bit from an upscaling. So if the company does well and goes through the roof, they want to be substantially involved.
Expertise. There were people in Silicon Valley asking me, what hinders you to grow your business 10 by 10, right? Or what do you have to change to grow your business by 10? This 10x philosophy. And honestly, nobody asked me that question before, right? In Germany, I mean, I'm happy if I grow 10% a year, but to grow my business 10 times, it's a very uncommon question. But I found this interesting.
I think the American mindset and the financial market is more advanced overall, but we've seen in the most recent years that Europe has definitely not we know that we're pushing it so much forward in the ecosystem that we can definitely compete, and valuations have been going up. We've produced lots of unicorns,